Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises, honor, and glory, it goes to Yahawah, bahasham, YAHAWASHI, bahasham, Rakah Kodash. It's like double honors to the apostles, double honors to the elders of Great Millstone. Yahawah, bahasham, YAHAWASHI, brakathum to the hopeful elect. Shalom, shalom. It's Brother Taziyar Benyamin from the GMS, Kansas City Church. And I'm back with another lesson. This is a walking talk. I know this morning I said, I was going to do like a various topics, but I ended up just going into that nigga Kodak. But, this one, I'm going to just, get into it. Various topics. All right, I want to start off by speaking on a dream I had last night, which, I'm not like really a dream brother. The Most High gives certain gifts to men. Some brothers good with the visions, some brothers good with Hebrew, some brothers good with history, prophesying. Some brothers is just well all around. Now that's not to say I don't have spiritual dreams. I mean, I have spiritual dreams, but it's not always a hot pressing revelation to where I gotta get up and do a video on. Sometimes it's it's personal matters. The Most High just be showing you things and whatnot. But no, man, to get into it, I was like in one of them black trucks. They have like when you order like a Uber, like one of them fancy Ubers, you get in a black truck, like one of them Tahoes. I was in the back of one. All right. And then, through the spirit, we pulled up to a hotel. And I'm telling you, bro, it was crowded, full of women. Like how they show like a superstar or a singer is like at a hotel. You have all the women that'll crowd around the lobby and outside of it, bro. It was like that. And some told me like, oh yeah, they all here for you. All right. And so, Jake in your flesh, you getting excited. Cause who wouldn't be excited around, a whole bunch of females crowding around looking for you. All right. And the spirit told me, oh no, it's the Shabbat. All right, and now that was it. That was the dream. Okay. And so what? The reason I want to speak on it now is because it has a lot of insight. To how these times are coming. Because the scriptures say, the 2 Ezra 16, 33 and 34, hey, there's been a hot precept. But, the men, there's going to be a scarcity of men here in America. Which, is going to open up a lot of avenues for brothers. You know what I'm saying? And when I'm saying this, I'm not saying like the truth is all about getting women and things like that. Because it's really not. But through the access that we have and the way that life is going to change, we still have to keep our minds right to YAHAWASHI and wanting to please him. You know what I'm saying? And wanting to stay clean and stay on point, man. All right, because the same way, you get excited, you in front of a hotel. Because I didn't even get out the car. Like, I was just sitting in the truck behind the tent. They didn't even know who was in there, but they was all out there, excited, trying to get into the hotel. And the spirit said, you know what? It is the Shabbat. and then I woke up. So that's, the scriptures tell us that we have to keep our body. Let me get this. I got one precept lined up. 1 second. See, I take my body and I bring it to subjection. Right? So let's get this. This is 1 second. All right, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verses 24. Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize? So run that ye may obtain. Everyone that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we are incorruptible. I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, for so fight I, not as one that beateth the air, but I keep under my body and bring it unto subjection, lest by any means when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway, man. All right, so that's what Apostle Paul was saying about the dangers of being a hypocrite when it comes to teaching, because it's easy to teach things, it's easy to tell brothers things on how they need to go about their lives. But if you not, I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's a gift to teach brothers things about their lives and things for edification. But if we not applying it to ourselves, then that word is no good. You know what I'm saying? How can I be telling brothers about escaping the wiles of the woman and using discipline and using wisdom, not just when it comes to women, but in the world in general, but I'm not using wisdom? You know what I'm saying? I'm out here telling brothers, don't get trapped up with these women, but yet next thing you know, I find myself getting trapped up with these women, man. You see, that is hypocritical. But Apostle Paul say, I take my body and bring it into subjection, man. And the scriptures tell you about ruling your spirit. 1 second. There's a couple of them. Proverbs chapter 25, verses 28. He that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls, man. And that's perfect to go with the dream. Because, if I didn't have control over my spirit, and I get in the room, I get in the room with all those nice looking females. If I ain't had no control over my spirit, I would have gone off. All right, this would have been a remix to Ignition, hot and fresh out the kitchen. It would have been the hotel lobby party. You know what I'm saying? But this why the Most High teaches us discipline now, and it teaches us to go without things. So when we do receive our blessings won't destroy us, man. All right, because brothers is gonna get blessed with multiple women. Brothers is gonna be blessed with substance. You know what I'm saying? Brothers gonna be blessed with fun. But if we don't have the wisdom of, taking those things, using them, but also, making those things be profitable unto us, then what good is it? All right. And so this why it's important, to not be always trying to feed the flesh. All right. Learn what gems you can through the spirit, so it'll profit you in the time of your blessings, that you don't fucking bug out, man. All right. I was telling brothers, I mentioned it at camp, but I mentioned it at camp that at a certain time, I had a money demon on my ass, man. It was hard for me to even save $1,000. I'm talking like for 4 or 5 years. Every time I even got close to a rack, something came up. All right, every time I got close to a rack, something came up and took that away. And here I am, damn near a grown man, And now that would play on my flesh. You know, here I am, a grown man. You know what I'm saying? Can't even hold $1,000. All right, but I pray to YAHAWASHI, and through that experience, I learned humility. You know what I'm saying? I learned how to ask for help. I was never in a position. Well, I wouldn't say never, but I had to learn how to outgrow that prideful, I don't want to ask for help shit. I'm gonna just struggle in silence. You got to do away with that. You know what I'm saying? I learned how to ask for help. I learned how to budget. Alright, and I learned how to make the most even off a small amount. You know what I'm saying? I used to be going out. I used to be going out on Saturdays with only $40, man. Now, that's not circumspect if that's all the money you have, but that's all that I had to spend. And you know, Jake Wee in his hell, he ain't gotta be boring 24/7. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm trying to say is that through the experience of having that money demon and not be able to do certain things, you know, just recently, you know, YAHAWASHI blessed me with an increase. You know, I ain't got to put the number amount, but you know, I'm gonna just say, hey, the Lord blessed me. And you know what? I didn't bug out. I didn't bug out behind the blessing, because the Lord helped train me on how to be smart with money, how to use wisdom with money. All right, so now I'm not, you know, you don't see me going to camp and slack if it's windy. You know, I can't control it. We in the elements. But now, you know, you don't see me pulling up to camp with Gucci suits. I'm not wearing Gucci flats. You know what I'm saying? I ain't putting no rims on my car. You know what I'm saying? I haven't gone to the club and fucking bought a bottle of champagne and sprayed it everywhere, and I ain't go to the strip club and throw ones everywhere. You know, the wisdom stuck with me. But what did that come through? That come through discipline. All right, that came through discipline. All right, and keeping my body under subjection and learn how to control my own how to control my spirit, even through the spending habits, man. Okay, so let's read that again. Proverbs 16:32. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than one that taketh the city. You see? So a mighty man that could slay millions, or not, you know, millions, whatever. A mighty man that could put people to death, you know, and take a city, is not greater than the man who can rule his own spirit, man. And that's what a lot of Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans struggle with, is ruling their own spirit, man. I gave that testimony a couple weeks ago on how that Jake in the line, well, not like camp, like line camp, but you know, I was standing in line to get in a place. But the Jake came up to me saying that he ain't know how to stop spending money on bitches. You see, he ain't had no rule over his spirit. All right, and this is why YAHAWASHI have brothers go without. You know, if you ain't had no box in a while, don't see it as a punishment, seeing as YAHAWASHI fine tuning your ass, man. All right, because if you go without a certain thing, you learn to live without it and have satisfaction without it. Once you get a certain thing, it ain't gonna have power over you, man. You see? And so, you know, brothers who be burning or brothers going through a dry spell, you may have things to learn when it come to, you know, satisfying yourself outside of, you know, ass and titties, and, you know, getting head. I'm gonna be raw, man. You know me. I'm gonna be raw. Alright? So we always gotta see the fruits of the spirit within our situations. Everything ain't chastisement. Everything's not punishment, man. Alright, sometimes YAHAWASHI is giving you the opportunity to grow and become better. And you have to take advantage of that. Alright? Don't be trying to force the course of a river. You know, you ain't had no box, so you out there every weekend. You know, you out there wasting money on buying bitches drinks. Shit, if it's really like that, nigga, go buy some. If you really burning like that, go buy some, man, and calm your ass down. All right, this is another one. Proverbs 25:28. He that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. Right, that means that anybody can come in and do whatever the fuck they want to that city without walls, man. Because back in the ancient world, cities had defense. All right, there are certain things that would prevent outsiders from coming in and raiding the city and tearing it up and doing whatever, man. So let's read it again. Proverbs 25:28. He that had no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls, man. So yeah, the demons will come in and run your shit, bruh. You see, if you can't rule your own spirit, a demon can come up and have more influence than you can. Alright? That's how you got jakes that have lack of self-control. Alright? Niggas that can't keep it in their pants, or women that always gotta have some new fresh dick. Even if it's not coming down to sex, but spending habits. Spending money on bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Going, doing all kind of stupid shit. Alright, drinking. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody, you shouldn't be fucking drunk on Tuesday, bruh. You shouldn't be drunk on Wednesday. Alright? Now out here it's a little different, sometimes the weekends start sometimes the weekend in Kansas City start on Thursday, but even that, I ain't getting fucking drunk every Thursday, man. Alright? You don't need to be fucking loaded out of your mind on a random Tuesday, on a random Wednesday, and a random Thursday, and don't tell me how you catching hell. Go on a walk, brother. Go to the gym, brother. Have you tried linking up with brothers? You know what I'm saying? What fucking hobbies do you have, man? You see, every problem in life, or every vexation in life, you ain't gotta ease it with pussy women and pussy liquor and sauce, man. All right, now I'm not, we are in hell, yeah. You do gotta take your mind off things, and I'm not saying that I don't indulge in them things, because hey, brothers know me, but you gotta learn balance, man. But you also gotta discern time and judgment, and that's one precept I want to get. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 8 verse 5. Whoso keepeth the commandment shall feel no evil thing, and the wise man's heart discerneth both time and judgment. All right, it say a wise man's heart discerneth both time and judgment. So you gotta know it's Ecclesiastes 3. It's a season for everything, man. All right, if it's not your season, it's not your season. You ain't gotta force the issue, and you ain't gotta get upset because it's not your season, man. But you should prepare yourself for your season. All right, don't just sit there and see other brothers getting blessed, see other brothers getting increased, seeing other brothers have their season, and then hey, you all upset because you ain't got that, or you ain't got something, man. Hey man, YAHAWASHI preparing you for yours, man. You see, you ain't gotta be looking at every brother's walk and comparing it to yours. All right, now we get edification from each other. We learn from each other. But shit, my walk completely different from the next man walk. All right, my walk completely different from the next man walk. Now we all trying to do the same things. We all trying to get that kingdom. But YAHAWASHI is teaching us all different lessons, man. I got different things in my spirit that I gotta correct than another man in his spirit gotta correct, man. All right, so know that and understand that, man. And if you feel like you haven't been growing, or if you feel like you should be on a certain level and you not, you gotta pray to YAHAWASHI to show you what you need to do, man, and he will. He'll show you, man. You know, because sometimes the Most High, he won't unlock, or he will keep a certain aspect of your life locked until you grow and excel in different aspects. See what I'm saying? It's like one of those video games. You can't. It'll be a certain level. Like, you can't cross this level until you reach a certain level. All right. Like, you can't enter into this side of the game until you reach level 20, and you still level 15. So Jake see men, you know, having the benefits of being level 20, and you like, damn, man, you know what? You just gotta stay patient and get your levels up, man. All right. So I wanted to say that. Also wanted to speak a little bit on this lesson Elder YAHAWAH did this morning about oversharing on social media. All right. Now, me myself, I'm not too big on the social media shit. You know, I got the IG. I post on IG every now and then. But, you know, the majority of my online footprint is on these videos, man. Okay, I'd rather you see me on a video teaching the word of YAHAWASHI before you see me on Instagram, you know what I'm saying, trying to look cute. All right, now that's just practice, man. And you see how the Lord did, boy. That be Satan too, bro. But anyway, man, I might hang around and get that, but nah, man. But you know, me myself, I ain't too big on the whole social media shit. Like I say, I'd rather you see me, you know, on these lessons, bringing out the word of YAHAWASHI before you see me on IG trying to look cute for the bitches and whatnot. But even then, brothers, you know, you gotta understand, anything you post on the internet, that's going straight to Esau pockets, bro. Anything you post on the internet going straight to Esau pockets, man. And you don't really know who's out there on the internet. All right, so that's why, you know, be circumspect about posting your cars. You know, if you got a car, make sure you don't put the license plate out there, man. You know what I'm saying? Be circumspect about posting your kids, man. You know, brothers got beautiful families, and you know, at times we want to show YAHAWASHI. You know, we want to show, you know, each other what YAHAWASHI bless us with. You know, to keep us motivated. You know, and just, you know, share aspects with each other, because you know we is brothers, man. But you know, be circumspect about posting your kids, because, like I say, that's going to Esau pockets, man. You know, and we know how this devil roll, man. You know, if they can't get to you, they gonna get somebody close to you, man. So, you know, hey, they might run facial recognition on people you put on social media and get to you that way. So, you know, you don't want to give this devil more ammo. You know what I'm saying, to do what he gonna do. Esau gonna do what he gonna do regardless, man. But shit, we ain't gonna make it easy for you. You know, we ain't gonna make it easy for you, man. So, you know, I just wanted to add that. You know, just the internet shit. You know, the internet got a lot of good to it through this truth, but it's very wicked as well, man. The internet is wicked as fuck, man. All right, you got them niggas back in the day, Avengers for YAHAWASHI. They was, you know, getting brothers information, calling brothers jobs, getting brothers fired and whatnot. And how'd they do that? Through the fucking internet, man. So yeah, there could be persecution arising behind, you know, things that go on the web. All right, now that's not saying to put fear in brothers' hearts. Oh man, you know, Esau, he gonna come get my kids. Nah, I ain't saying that, but you know, keep in mind this: we fighting against the dirtiest fighter ever, man. All right, I think that's what they used to call Ric Flair. They used to call him the dirtiest player in the game. All right, but hey, through the spirit, you know, our goal is to outlast this shit. All right, we're not in the truth to be popular nigga of the year. You ain't here to be the most popular Jake, man. Okay, you're not here to have the biggest roster of all the fine bitches in your area, man. Now, I ain't telling brothers you ain't gotta shoot your shot, you know, but everything that look good is not good, man. Remember that. Everything that look good is not good. And I remember the brother YAHAWAH in Dallas said this. Sometimes bad bitches are just that. They're bad bitches. Like literally, like they're bad. They're not good. They're healthy. They are not healthy for you, man. Alright, so take that into consideration, man. YAHAWASHI said, he that endureth unto the end, the same must be saved. So hey, you know, you increase your chances of being saved by making it to the end, by outlasting these people, by letting these motherfuckers die around you, man. Alright, and YAHAWASHI is gonna put us in his secret parts, in his secret places to keep us, man. Alright? So don't let that fear of missing out demon rise up. You know, you may be a young man in the truth in your 20s. You know, because the world would tell you that your 20s is for having all type of wild experiences and wild nights and, you know, experimenting, which means like doing HOMO shit for real. You know, the world would tell you your 20s is for experimenting and, you know, living it up life, but that's not true, bro. And I'll tell you that. And I'm fresh out of my 20s. All right. Really, your 20s is a time to cut out the old man. You know what I'm saying? Recognize what habits you have and create a foundation in YAHAWASHI, man. So I'll leave it at that. All praise, honor, and glory goes to YAHAWASHI. Shalom.